Imagine walking into a bank vault worth millions, walking out without firing a single shot, and leaving behind nothing but questions for the FBI. No alarms triggered, no fingerprints left, just a perfect crime executed with surgical precision. This wasn't a Hollywood script, it was real, and to this day it remains one of the most baffling heists in American history, a case that left investigators scrambling, suspects whispering, and the public captivated by the audacity of criminals who seemed one step ahead at every turn. Welcome to the story of the heist that confounded the FBI. The scene begins in a quiet American city where a bank and its secure vault became the target of meticulous planning. For weeks, maybe months, someone studied routines, security measures, and vulnerabilities. Unlike reckless smash and grab jobs, this was an operation built on patience and intelligence. Surveillance cameras were bypassed, not destroyed. Alarm systems were silenced, not tripped. It was the kind of crime that suggested military-level discipline or insider knowledge, because every move seemed calculated to perfection. Planning a heist like this isn't just about guts, it's about information. The criminals likely spent countless nights mapping out blueprints, analyzing security protocols, and learning the shift schedules of guards and employees. They knew exactly when to strike, when the bank would be at its weakest, and when the FBI's eyes would be elsewhere. Witnesses later recalled strange vehicles parked near the bank at odd hours, men loitering nearby, always watching, never drawing attention. At the time, no one thought twice, but looking back, those were the ghosts of the heist in motion. When the night came, execution unfolded with clockwork precision. The thieves gained access not through the front door, but by exploiting hidden weaknesses, a poorly reinforced wall, an air duct, or perhaps even an unlocked service entrance. Inside, they moved like shadows. Every lock picked, every code bypassed, seemed rehearsed. By the time they reached the vault, the operation had shifted into high gear. Instead of brute force, they used tools designed to minimize noise and avoid detection. Safecracking wasn't done with dynamite, it was done with skill, the kind passed down from generations of professional thieves. When morning came, employees walked into the bank and froze. The vault had been emptied of millions in cash and valuables, yet there were no signs of chaos, no shattered glass, no broken doors, just space where money once was, and the eerie realization that criminals had come and gone without a trace. Police arrived first, then the FBI. What they found was less a crime scene and more a puzzle. Cameras showed nothing useful, alarms had never gone off, and the entry point seemed almost invisible. The FBI was stunned. This wasn't supposed to happen in America, where federal authorities prided themselves on airtight security. From the start, the investigation was plagued by hurdles. Detectives combed through every inch of the vault, every scrap of evidence, and every witness statement. They pulled footage from surrounding businesses, hoping for a clue, a vehicle, a face, anything. Yet the thieves seemed to have anticipated every investigative move. License plates were covered, surveillance blind spots were exploited, tools were wiped clean of DNA. Even the timeline of the break-in left investigators scratching their heads. How had the crew known exactly how much time they had before anyone would notice? The FBI quickly realized they weren't dealing with amateurs. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment robbery carried out by desperate criminals. It was a professional job executed by people who understood law enforcement tactics just as well as they understood burglary. Agents began to suspect either former military personnel, ex-police officers, or insiders with deep connections to the banking world. But proving that was another story. Over the months, several names surfaced as key suspects. A former bank employee who'd recently been fired under suspicious circumstances. A local contractor with access to building plans. A crew of career criminals known for sophisticated break-ins across the state. Each had motive, each had opportunity, but none could be definitively linked to the crime. Alibis checked out, or at least appeared strong enough to cast doubt. Evidence remained circumstantial. The FBI leaned hard on informants, hoping someone would slip. But silence reigned. Whoever had pulled this off knew the code of the underworld. Say nothing, trust no one, vanish with the prize. Public fascination only grew as months turned to years. Newspapers ran front-page stories on the perfect heist. Talk shows speculated on how it was done. Theories ranged from Hollywood-level tunneling jobs to international crime syndicates using the bank as a test run. Meanwhile, the FBI's reputation took a hit. If America's top law enforcement agency couldn't solve this, what did that mean about the safety of other institutions? Pressure mounted. Resources were poured in, but still the investigation crawled. The suspects' lives, too, became a maze of scrutiny. Some faced endless questioning. Others were followed day and night. Yet no charges ever stuck. In the absence of convictions, the whispers never stopped. Was it an inside job? A betrayal from within the bank's own walls? Or was it a brilliant crew who had simply outsmarted the system and then dissolved into normal life, their millions hidden away in safe houses or laundered through legitimate businesses? Eventually, the case went cold. Files were boxed up, leads dried out, agents moved on to fresher crimes. But the unanswered questions remained, haunting those who had dedicated years to solving it. The stolen money was never recovered, the true culprits never brought to justice, and the FBI, despite its resources, had to admit defeat. For the criminals, it was the ultimate victory. For law enforcement, it was a bitter reminder that even the most sophisticated systems can be undone by human ingenuity and patience. The legacy of the heist lives on not only in crime history, but also as a lesson in vulnerability. It showed how even the most secure institutions could be compromised with careful planning and flawless execution. It highlighted the importance of thinking like a criminal when designing security. And it reminded the FBI and the public that arrogance is dangerous. Just because something seems impenetrable doesn't mean it is. So, what do we learn from this? That the line between genius and criminality is razor thin. That sometimes the most successful criminals aren't the ones who wave guns and demand attention, but those who quietly slip in, take what they want, and vanish without a sound. And that, perhaps, is why stories like this continue to captivate us, because deep down, we're both horrified and impressed by the sheer audacity of people willing to challenge the system and win, even if only for a moment. This was the heist that confounded the FBI, a crime that still sparks debate, theories, and fascination. And if you want to dive deeper into the world of mysterious crimes, unsolved cases, and the hidden truths behind history's most daring acts, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Verdict. Drop a comment with your theory. Was it an inside job or a master criminal who vanished into the night? And don't forget to watch our other videos where the verdict is always hidden, waiting to be uncovered.